radio station abusia ebraso yatina se ya gudem nsam na ede ebrewo every saturday akopem se 12 o'clock bebo agudem nsam ana yade eba dwumadie ya yese ne sabri pem ye be bia homa de na fe so adwenkyere watimi ede aba dwumadie so but I live ewo YouTube handle Nhyira TV ewo YouTube ukọ benya so ni bi ahwe na waja comment enso ho na yakenkan nyina ede amanse shawo so from the garbage room the foreigner and he antina kopim say 12 o'clock ebebo na yade fin some the eba nkrofa so enso yebedi nkoma kakra another World Cup qualification matches the P ana eto eja ma wodo ni P na qualify atasa no pay yabe ehun nkoma kakra ha yade ebro beda baby ebegina pa na yabibirem ha na eno na Nigeria ayo man eno na obia etepesa yese Nigeria and so enya qualification no Nigeria for prayer womu enya straight qualification ade so omokobo playoff ansana womatimi qualify and you see amaya wodo ma qualify na Morocco, Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, Ghana, Cape Verde, South Africa, Senegal and Africa's way and amaya woma qualify World Cup 2026 womu suno ekwakwa gina ebibre anem na enya wona asemno baby asem no pa yese ufa teams a omo points ne ya ye de mako and 9 e de eka 9 a wo medikan qualify no na e wona Nigeria for your Gabon your DR Congo and your Cameroon enso e ho na sa 4 teams yi when na qualify ababeka Ghana mo de no ehom eno na sisi no ehon komo pi abata se yatena si ye de ebrewo enti ye bisa wonso betimi de comment adi aba Nigeria, Gabon, DR Congo, Cameroon. Man ben na qualify ababeka ye ebibremu amaya omonso qualify eko World Cup no. Ani yankoma ye babedi na fe ye ba Black Stars suye ababedi nkomo ye pa na no da ye say at the glimpses ne edema. Ye nyanya World Cup qualification players ni pi ha ye ni omo bedi nkomo anaso mbeba se fe we ma ye ready so mbesia kan adi ama Ghana na yase no yebetrem na se yetrem a yenya players ni bia ene wo nso aka se wo nya Ghana wo besia kan dia mo ma na san common ewo ha yebewuram ye pa na afa yedi eno nso eho enkomo na yewura Kofi Adams ye sports minister wakasa ade afasa ensemi ho anafe enkane kasamafo edba Ghana Football Association Ibrahim Sani Dara enso akasa ade afasa asemwe ho ni nyina nkafa na yedi ebrewo Power Sports so na afe yetimi edi enkomo ewe ensisia wodo so obete fifi Manfred Nkam abrepem obete Kofinka so na Bismarck owusu Bempa Ayala enso ewa ha obete nka se yewura ensem edi amao Steve Sando Sokoban Fatilo and Andy Costa womu ana ebrosu produce jumadi ya ena no pay yatena sa wedem nsem no yede dawo wensisia ahodo so enkoma bia yeda enwa basisia yeba ya yebedi nkomo ewo jumadi so but the big question I say amine ben anaso amine ben na be qualify ababeka 9 yenya no Nigeria, Gabon, DR Congo, Cameroon na odo comment enso edi aba yada ya ho aba yaba awodem nsem no yade twaso dem Nhyira your number one can radio station enso enienti enko ba bia yabasisi omukobo World Cup conference on starting na afom so ensheda nya bia say mampom America so ombekwa be kakra no omano bedu but gradually as a kiver football no arise to the extent say ne oma qualify omokobo FIFA World Cup for the very first time group anomani Cameroon now
which was the Kiverian story the Brunmekans a peculiar one but the story ana FIFA for ne ehye abrana FIFA for no some expanded the number in the World Cup teams about corner. One of the reasons why they wanted to do that expansion was to get stories like this. Now, FIFA for no ejitum say stories no the soul of football near bono. Nia asemo bi betia ebeka obi akoma ebe mo obi abotumu bi aka say asemo de inspiring to yen and they had a kita born in any sporting. So when FIFA wanted to expand the World Cup from 32 countries to the 48 that they wanted to have, it was because they wanted to get countries which say any stories which say to be told. Senebeya brand wise, it sells the World Cup brand. Senebeya it positions football as a sport, a year more for inclusivity. Any sebe omo enka omo sebi, because in terms of football lingua, Cape Verde nka be on sebi. Onye part of the names that's here World Cup, but they should be there. If Opa forget about the world as a state as a whole in its own, forget about Africa as a whole. Look at the subdivisions of the continent: West Africa, South Africa, Eastern Africa, and in the areas where they are. Talk about even islands. They are not part of that conversation. So today there is going to be different renditions of send you be a story. No, me fi make a story nanko. Before make a story, give a story nanko, and it is going to resonate into needy and for one person who expend the World Cup. And the are very exciting, because Rich Cape Verde for population, human population, in the Ashanti region. Cape Verde, now the island Cabo Verde is not up to the population. According to the last population census, the Ashanti region is close to about 1 million plus. Cape Verde is doing 500,000, less than 600,000. It is a half of the region of Ashanti, one of the 16 regions of Ghana. We are talking about a country of that population-wise, the magnitude of form. Rich, when you check even land size, we say, apart from the population in terms of human beings, the land size is also important. Land size is also it's your mind kakrebi. Island. Exactly. And Ayomaya, Rich, the discovery of Cape Verde will fascinate everybody or passport sans geopolitics. Abena slave trade Kosono. When the Portuguese wanted to find different parts of the world, yet discovery, about West Africa side, they chanced on Sahel and island. It was in 1975 that Cape Verde for independence. And time of Portugal for who they decided to just leave it as an island. It's not and they say, funny free the western part of Africa. Ghana, Ivory Coast, Togo, Benin, Nigeria. You're funny cho because any of those one. Rich, not before see the Caribbeans, baby Jamaica, the side of Trinidad and Tobago, all of these places. Before they will get to that side, not Cape Verde transit points.
You don't go later, no? You don't call final destination.
You don't call final destination. Cape Verde transit points. Emma, slave trade, no? Until say First World War, Second World War, the Portuguese were pulling out of Africa, and then they decided to give them their independence in 1975. It's rich. Before the Portugal found Bacono. Not Cape Verde for the baby. Every omo na council omo na nano omo when in every country omo omo Portugal. It's almost everybody in Cape Verde has a tie or two to Portugal. Most of their players. Only who can play away? Luis Nani.
Yeah.
Nani has his lineage from Cape Verde. I do maybe he even what and yes I bought Portugal team in Tema. That was a country he wanted to play for. All of them. So a chunk of those players and then what's Giovanni Coendamo, all of these young Dario Esugo, these young Portuguese boys, most of them, usually every black Portuguese is Cabo Verdean. And that's our lineage to Cabo Verde. And for them to reach about 10-15 years ago, not Cape Verde in FIFA rankings at also 185. According to FIFA, countries are joining FIFA no. Right? 200 plus and 285 they say, oh yeah, baby, last and last but one. Oh, actually clear. Which in in and around the recent average FIFA rankings, Cape Verde that's somewhere around 75 from 185 in just a decade or two. Forming a national team in kakra, yempe a football culture in kakra, yembo even a local league in kakra, yemko pay your players now or Molinage echo Portugal because Portugal team no and you be in the biabo or more bring them to come back to come and play for Cabo Verde. Yanko Afcon, kakra, yanko show your metal. Rich in the last 2 decades, it has been slow. Omunyo Afcon ekoye. Qualify from a group at AFCON at the expense of countries like Ghana. And then slowly but sure, like you said, which it was a group with Africa here, but World Cup, World Cup, most of them. Cameroon is up there. When you talk about the Northern Africans, the Egyptians and the likes, you would mention the Cameroonians, you would mention the Nigerians, even before you mention Ghana. But in a group with Cameroon, a country far advanced in football, a country producing more quality players in football than them, they're able to put together a team with a local Cabo Verdean coach.
On your foreign example,
Cape Verde probably took them. I said they are Ivory Coast won the year MS final, took in MS5 to France to learn over there, and even same with Walid Ouagragui of Morocco going to France to coach smaller teams in France and understand how the European does their job and bring it back. Which now their record in their qualifiers is very interesting. Who won record against Cameroon for? I want to mention it to you.
But before I bet to us, now Ashanti region, the population, I checked and you're both 4 million.
Okay. Missy pay the last population census. Pay the last population census now.
All right.
The region goes, even for Kumasi, the Edoso. A small place. Very, very small place. Now, it's Ocean Games, I'm a boy, group number. Which almost say Cameroon. At home. They beat Cameroon by a goal to 0. Say Swatini, board draw with Libya. So I 3-3 draw on Libya boy. I want no problem. Once I goes to Libya for no consider. But of course, managed to beat Mauritius as well. Which Cape Verde is a top country. And I think that they've come far. Which and you win enough FIFA EPO. Say you best start to World Cup no. The FIFA will say that World Cup near BM no. There is a small island country that has come in with a lot of quality.
In your fairy tale stories.
Yes, these stories are nice to listen to. Calm me down. Obi a person stories DBTA. And the Cabo Verdean story is a similar one. And Sahano Mopeno. They would love to see it, and there's probably an upset. Nanka Gabon and qualify ahead of Ivory Coast. Then they get a Gabonese story to and add to it. Add the Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang story, main guys, so they will shoot a documentary around them to brand the World Cup, market the World Cup, and then push it forward, get more money from advertisers. Sana, FIFA for no year money. That is exactly how they want to do their things. That is exactly how they make sure that at the end of the day, of football. Which I think as an African man, who is a man qualifying, almost one qualifying AFCON maybe.
That's true. They say Ghana, Yanko AFCON, but the Yakobo World Cup,
they didn't qualify for the AFCON, and which I think say congratulations to Cape Verde.
But Kofi, you see, you say, time I did Ghana come on. Mekai, so to be a press conference. Ghanaians, minimum yard. Ghana is a football country. I share teams with the Comoros, Cape Verde, Benin, Nomone, our teams now. I say I don't have a proper position. Because Ghana, they feel say about football Africa, in Bonabo. But now to attackers in the end, I don't know, say they be an attacker stereotype. What to say? Now Ghana need be function the team said the African game
Yeah.
Obi who born about.
Yeah.
Because Kofi, you say, even pandit, time sa group D, ye sa groups as in countries are, Omuko Gubino. You say, pandit be a babus and be on football will be and the first country of a culture about qualifying from that group, Cameroon.
Yeah.
Because Cameroon, like we said, World Cup no man bo, omunim nebo. Eba na African football omunim nebo.
Yeah.
And you give yon kuno. Now, ya bo group na in group D, and yenye certain kiveda. Sebi AFCON or more na hibiao.
Yeah.
Say or Kobo World Cup for the very first time. It means that look, minu obi aya Ghana. Obi betu ya catch us okay. Na se keve for no so can you know mbo. Say so mo ba be humbo. Dia no me ya so mo humbo. It means that they are learning.
Yeah.
And then Ghana they ensuan there. Agree. Minu obi aya but again, we should also understand say the African football enyi so we on yama yenko ade a and as say football no the likes of Pierre Genuini and the natural say football are moving from names what I say stars. They say now a team and you about Ronaldo or Messi no why it's about the team na kasana wono and yes sir Kofi and Nigeria. Look at the stars of Nigeria with that. Look at the players. But Nigeria air struggle in a group more South Africa, Benin, and then Rwanda.
Even South Africa so struggle.
So about African game now, Nigeria was so the chance out of it.
America say even you didn't actually so struggle.
You see?
Yeah.
Auntie, me feel say the African game no. Ghana ni bi an function team say. Can no na teams ni bi nimbo. Country no mu nimbo. So be a humble on the ball. And like you said, you see, Sake very free. Most of them players on Portugal.
Oh, yeah.
In Europe.
I'm just checking.
It's not like
Nelson Samado, the maternal cousin crowd bomb for the team. I think Willie Samedo. I mean, Rich, you see, we are also a big name country, you know. You should be able to do more. So when Timia more, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to beat even the so-called smaller teams. You should be able to do more or research or preparation, your plan to come into games.
Mano IT hub. I see, Rich, even Cristiano Ronaldo's grandmother is from Cape Verde. I don't know for a fact.
But of course, most Portuguese people have a lineage from them, from Portugal. And you see, the most interesting thing is that in that country, islands near Kawansam, any of the smallest of the various islands, the side of the ocean. No? That tells you how much of a strong country we are. Marriage, it's progress. And officially, we're the second smallest country in the World Cup after Iceland. And after qualifying to the quarterfinals of the AFCON before, coming back into this one, qualifying for the World Cup, the small processes, and also Rich, almost a blend of young and old players, only experienced kakra. They tried in 2002 to go to Korea, Japan, so they have added all of those experience. Some of them are part of the technical team, and kakra, and they've gotten to the point where they've gotten to. Like I said, this is the stories that FIFA wants.
Okay, interesting. Now, Bismarck also been Payala from Nkrai. And also joining your studio. Aya, good morning.
Good morning.
Now to say,
I'm maybe fine.
How was our trip and be come up?
Oh yeah. A break I can't, but okay.
There crash so free and can buy us what you bed. All right. Yedi Kevedum Comono.
Ebia, young Kevet citizens in Intino. We may not be able to match the excitement, any feeling is in your city. But Rich, you can only imagine it as a Ghanaian. Say, a crowd, the whole population in Rukumasi. Na, en shedam mo brebia o football mu. Na you say, I qualify to play in the World Cup. Rich, when even on my beer World Cup no omako bida. De bia omoko Oma wini bida. Argentina, Brazil, Germany, Italy, Spain. Oba ebibremu Shese Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana, Tunisia. Uko Asia, say Japan for no, Korea for no, say Australia mo qualifier. Look, even no more World Cup or Mutai Konimpono. If they are able to qualify for another one, look at how they feel.
No, now
why? Unko bida. Na uye ketwa. Na unna hoda. So beko. You can only imagine how they are feeling. And many omo ka say time FIFA it decided say obi World Cup nim to 48 countries, you know. Rich na stories be saying here. And Asia, a many exciting. World Cup ya on the 5th of December, yeah draw na. Rich, we will see a lot of exciting groups. Countries beer. You've never heard Omudim Poda. We will hear it at our war stage in so. But if you watch Kevin Fonu play footballer, Metinya Kase, almost story, no? Similar to what Switzerland for no kofa or my effort, okay. You trace your roots to a powerful football nation. Then you bring in a technical director or TSA linkage nasi. Now what can say? Within this specific period, you want to build a project in football. Project now is center say, you say on my way because you know we are more similar in Tino. You see a on football philosophy no. Na apply or my moi. And it start with coaching education. And the coaches be at no. Me a mama ko Portugal no ma ko siade no maba. Say yeah hands are there na. Me a for Portuguese coaches. Na omo be hande national teams no. Na attach you to your local coaches ni bi. No omo sia ne omo ne free omo. Say your players be a. Say a Portugal cra league no munya bi mo a. Portugal League 2, League 1, League 3. The more they play out the grassroots of Portuguese football, no, the more they learn how we born in the way we see football. And kakran, if you are able to call these guys, gather them with education, we will be able to, at a point in time, emulate a certain philosophy on the African continent. One of the most tactically astute teams that rough. And one of the teams that almost to say implemented 3 back our Africans, you know, again Keved. They've come from far. And finally they are here. You can only imagine as a Ghanaian how they feel. But Rich, who can do nice show shoes easy to be marvelous.
I admire. Na kronim, you
can imagine.
And easy.
And one thing, Africa, at least you didn't want to trick a vet kakra. Everything I show the whole world, they say, Rich, they will turn up for the World Cup. And they will come very, very colorful. From our country, the colors to our man who from the Baba Stadium. Oh, you will see a colorful World Cup whenever Kevin is mentioned, say, almost so a hobby. And these are the kind of stories that make you love football. Okay. And so, but what's the kind of a postie? What Tunisia has done during this qualifiers and confirm Komasa. Rich, 10 games, and they've not considered a goal. Can you imagine? Obianfa born to Martinum. Omashi games sitting in a home and away.
10 matches.
Meaning solid. Yakaso Wikuta. So they perfect any 100%. One statement. Perfect 100% record. Rich, that is brutal.
So Bobo qualifiers for Africa.
And like American on the African continent. Away, home, you don't concede and you win. Charlie,
that is special.
Brutal achievement. And at Tunisia for no, I know we are hoping, sir. We are getting some mess out. Be Cameroon and our Copa on the African continent. They are messing it out, and then there's nothing that will save Nigeria. Nothing. BBL will save you. They will also miss out. Senegal will lock it in. Meaning, Senegal they will lock it. Now, almost one making tea. Continent that's why there. But
only Nigeria they are by the any group C no. Yeni komoni. Nigeria, Benin, South Africa, Rwanda. Emfa.
The good thing for South Africa, Nigeria and Benin no more bomb.
Okay.
Because Rich, say and yes or more any other group country be and Benin ebona and South Africa for them forget it. But omutia ye ama Benin and Seka Benin Bobo fear against Nigeria and South Africa for not to be sure. But they are going to Nigeria. And Utien common free Nigeria bana. I say they want to beat Benin for 2 reasons. One, Omun says South Africa be Rwanda. South Africa. And you know, like Nyanse be nim to lose to Benin. Ulusu to Benin in South Africa will win. And they will win good. Number 2. So we should Victor Osimhen money or more reaction after our last game now. It is as if say, look, you are starting here, but let's finish war for our country. Yampe ni munyambi. Na say etimi a finish war. Na etimi dia koto play off ni mua. Then we have another chance. At least we can give hope now. People say ebe dum kra. And na meshe. But Rich Metiye, I am not so convinced Nigeria can beat Benin. Even in Nigeria. My share Nigeria board, my share every match be a be. They seem to have stars.
Individual and a dose.
Yes. And on a good better be sorry, my bro. When you have superstars in your team, especially when he's a striker, not a bobo with any brainy aggression, any BBA eboa, but Rich, a yakwa create too much of an Osimhen team. And also Osimhen, so on the boba. Rich, he's always asking you to pass to him. Interquest bono, who do any more who show phobia now? Upeja say, O Jinahino Ametian. And he said, and go for dealing with him. Not a yakwa go for problem, bro. Look, South Africa slag it with our unqualified player and Bruhahano. But and they have a way to redeem themselves, beat Rwanda and make it to the World Cup. And I think they will do it. Sorry to Nigeria and Benin, but I think Omushi Omohono are playing to the hands of South Africa.
Kofi, remember in Group C,
I think South Africa are the most disappointed of the lot of Group C because of the another South Africa for an eye. South Africa for no Oko Kromonoma. Unbelievable, say they've been able to transform Omobono. Now, in terms of the diplomatic side of the game and even administrative, no, they have a CAF president in Dr. Patrice Motsepe. Now, in terms of female football, from the club level to national team level, Omomano are competing with Morocco seriously. Then, even on the club level on the African continent, Omunya club representing the Club World Cup. And that is the only country south of the Sahara that was able to get there. Most of the other countries from this part of the world were from North Africa. And it tells you, say, Udi black African Koma. South Africa looks to be the country and which baby Anomuto Simpa had been the part of a national team, the Bafana. Because club football they are doing fine, MR football they are doing fine, club football they are doing fine, intercontinental football they are doing fine. But once it comes to Bafana, the national pride, when you go to South Africa, they value Springboks as a much more national orientation, maybe because of apartheid time. They are Nelson Mandela UC Springboks every year, as compared to even football. Right? For them to be able to build a South African team to get to the levels where they've gotten to, na team any omanya very good players, na omanya strong coach, na leading group. They were leading the group. We forget that South Africa were comfortably leading Group C.
And Yachima before Mbabo Nigeria.
Exactly.
So Nigeria.
Exactly.
And qualification.
Exactly. It's until
because
4 points now.
The games you don't know South Africa.
Yeah. Apart from that, they have the quality. On any day, Zimbabwe need Lesotho. But for me, it was that 3 points. 3 points here. That is what gave life to Group C. 3 points a man Nigeria for believing so Metimiako Durban to go and play against them. 3 points that made Zimbabwe believe that they can upset the South Africans elsewhere too. So, I mean, it is sad for the South Africans for me, which Nigeria will be paid with a lesson on Ghana True. Normally, Ghana True. We will not get time to tell the Ghana True story much when we come back. But Nigeria Fund did not treat the manager well. They didn't treat Ghana well. And Ghana has gone to Benin to go and build a strong team. Omujidi said after what was done, I think Stephen Keshi or something with the Togolese team, or they almost called the World Cup 2006 now. They also want to do the same with our brand friend again. So let's see. And then you may they be very interesting in our games now.
But football stories could feel like you said.
Oh yeah.
Ghana draw no kuta Nigeria. Nigeria for so what's a pa or Ghana draw. What's
yeah.
And Nigeria for Sakeno. Now wakofa a certain Benin Abba and now say so to mission Nigeria or the Benin Eco World Cup.
Yeah.
The monster Nigeria created has come back to hand them.
Yeah.
So anyway, football stories ni ana edeno.
Yeah.
Nti yeba said ye enso no be sia mfodi yame eyadoma omo a group ni. Yebe to so e di amamo omo ko World Cup. Conference omo start na afom so ensheda nyai bia say mampom America so ombekwa be kakra no omano bedu, but gradually as a kivet football no arising to the extent say ne omo qualify omo kobo FIFA World Cup for the very first time. Group anomani Cameroon now.
Which was the Cape Verdean story, the Brunimekans a peculiar one. But the story ana FIFA for ne eshishe. Abrana FIFA for no ASM some expanded the number in the World Cup teams about corner. One of the reasons why they wanted to do that expansion was to get stories like this. Now, FIFA for no ejitum say stories no the soul of football near bono. Near asemo bi betia ebe kan obi akoma ebe mo bi able to move bi say asemo we inspiring to yen and they had the kita born him and sporting him. So when FIFA wanted to expand the World Cup from 32 countries to the 48 that they wanted to have, it was because they wanted to get countries which they say any stories which they say to be told. Senebeya brand wise, it sells the World Cup brand. Senebeya it positions football as a sport, a year more for inclusivity. Any sebe or more enka always sebi, because in terms of football lingua, Cape Verde nka on sebi onye part of the names that's here World Cup, but they should be there. If Opa forget about the world as a state as a whole in its own, forget about Africa as a whole. look at the subdivisions of the continent: West Africa, South Africa, Eastern Africa, and in the areas where they are. Talk about even islands. They are not part of that conversation. So today, there is going to be different renditions of send you a story. No? Me fee make a story nanko. Before make a story, story nanko, and it is going to resonate into 90 and for one person who expend the work up. And them are very exciting, because Rich, Cape Verde for population, human population, in the Ashanti region. Cape Verde, now the island Cabo Verde is not up to the population. According to the last population census, the Ashanti region is close to about 1 million plus. Cape Verde is doing 500,000, less than 600,000. It is a half of the region of Ashanti, one of the 16 regions of Ghana. We are talking about a country of that population-wise, the magnitude of form. When you check even land size, we say, apart from the population in terms of human beings, the land size is also important. Land size is also it's your mind kakrebi.
Island.
Exactly. And Ayomaya, Rich, the discovery of Cape Verde will fascinate everybody or passport sans geopolitics. Abena slave trade Kosono. When the Portuguese wanted to find different parts of the world, yet discovery, about West Africa side, they chanced on Sahel and almost say island. It was in 1975 that Cape Verde for independence. And time of Portugal for who chrono, they decided to
Anna qualify to the FIFA World Cup 2026. America. And Africa, Canada, and Mexico. Na Amaya qualify no Morocco, Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, Ghana, Cape Verde, South Africa, Senegal, and Africos. When you Amaya, Wama qualify, Chese, Wamu, and so Echo World Cup PB. But FIFA insists, on says World Cup, no, Yatim Pankan and Anka 5 teams and qualify. This year, there 10 teams na qualify. Emun Kron, the automatic qualification. And on Benyanemum ya Pebaku Akaho, Ama no Suno Aqua do. Nasa do no Ana FIFA Chese. Sir, Yabo, league in area na obia obedi nkan e woni group no need any automatic qualification afa team say toss mienu no wo mo points ne ye pa no na omo akobo playoff na sa mini playoff no mbebo no ne yi mu baako e de aka enkro no ho na fe omo enso akọ FIFA World Cup 2026 inti amay omo points ne ye no Nigeria, Gabon, DR Congo, Cameroon, Morocco, and a mini tournament, and also a Basinian Yabako, Ababacam. But the question is, O mind by now, fee, sir, or Baba qualify, Ababacan 9 na Yanyano Edada. Odo comment bar, Yabakin Kenina, Ediama, Kofi Atrase, Fifi Manfred, Kofi Quate, Atras into Yansa Sena, Yenin Comono, and so essay, Kofi Aquaba.
Good morning.
Na empome ye de
Nyame
adum bibia ye pa anu am yensa se anu game no bia hwe anim Benin and Nigeria game no before the game yet say wo mu kra no wan say mandatory training no yazi Benin for no koye said ye be yo mbe pie kra na Nigeria for no kra be hu de omo ye na akwakoye bibia obet ni nyina mu na no Victor Osimhen no kwa hat-trick ana chese oboye ana yenya goal baako edeka oma 4 goals ana mo chichire edesua Benin my answer say teams are qualify and the mini playoff na yebebo ansana kasepa no inter confederations de no etimi enso abaso famisa say
Gabi, I don't think say the World Cup qualifiers near board the various continents no. Continents be on man no emu more competitive ni more detching no.
Okay.
The qualifying competition and rounds and processes that course on the African continent no. The storylines behind it and the most interesting things that course on the African continent no. It being see with Europe. I didn't make us the gulf of quality between say and England that qualify on a Latvia huge. There is no way Latvia can match that gulf of quality. They can't close it in a year or 2 decades or whatsoever. Edding. And now Turkey versus Georgia, and the Georgian team has a player here named Vicha Koritskelia as their captain. But Turkey blew them away. That is the gulf in quality. I watched the Spanish game that they played in Ranajo. It was a clear-cut difference of day and light. The Italians, even on the nights where Israelites they tried to do something, they whitewashed them. But when you come to the African continent, even the Oceania regional, you can always make mention of the likes of Austria, Australia, and all of these things. Almost every year they will come from that side. In Asia, you constantly get Japan and South Korea more, who are almost always top in that area. Then, of course, when you add the Middle East area, where there is Saudi Arabia more, there is Qatar, there is Bahrain, and the likes, that is there. But when you come to the African side, the story is different. And even before Krasi Ebeko, the Nigerian story and whether or not look at the 4 countries that are going to play the mini tournament. Look at Gabon. Gabon hosted the AFCON not too long ago, where now Nhyira to the extent that they were going to the quarterfinals and round of 16 of the AFCONs just a couple of years ago. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang Gabon team once a team that at certain point in time they were doing a nice story. The Gabonese had begun that. When you look in that 4 teams now, there is Cameroon. A Cameroonian side that has the likes of Brian Mbuemo, Andre Unana, Frank Andre Onguiza, all of those Cameroonian names, and Cameroon
big names.
Yes, edgy AFCON chess. The last time they won it. And they are part of the record holders. When you take Egypt aside, they are right there in the mix. Then there is almighty Nigeria. But even before that, look at the story of DR Congo. It is a group of Kwesi South Sudan. There was Senegal and then DR Congo. But for DR Congo losing to a Senegalese side that performed very well in the last World Cup and also AFCON, what Jibina is saying. In Kebian DR Congo many automatic qualification. Then narrow it down before Nigeria crash them. Look around the performances of countries like Burkina Faso. And now, a Kakituebi before Nigeria be 4th goal, and Burkina Faso didn't win because a goal difference.
Okay.
Nigeria conceded 6 goals, and Burkina Faso for now conceded 7 goals. Until there is a video, Burkina Faso bomb match ni and opano. Traore brother Simone, Petro Pamazisio Mabeka, the national team technical staff, no more. They were all dancing. Plus soldiers are a free. Once a Burkina Faso a soldier buying a boom. So representative from soldier for Abino. Abomo dressing room. Omudi asa because we say Ethiopia 2-1. I think 3-1 and a 2-1. Omudi asa. They were excited because Omuko kobo the playoffs. Omubo playoffs ni ya. There is a possibility because in the playoffs, it's anything can happen. You bet me that sorry. Not the Congo Cameroon who are challenge. You bet me that sorry. Not Gabon team your friend Nigeria. Maybe our son. Then we have a different story altogether. So that is the level of competition in the African game. Me say until say Abrantia Felicia Jay will score that or Franco Onyeka will score that final goal for Nigeria. Burkina Faso were going through.
Until that Franco Onyeka go 90+1.
Yes.
And I'm Nigeria
chance no.
Okay.
If Nigeria scored anything less than 4 goal margin difference and Komun Kahumi.
Okay.
And it's just about Kaya. Before saying you be you go game and no be as we Nigerian team even with second place players no team call. And we run through the performances and the results from the African continent yesterday.
And DR Congo at Sudan SN1. Senegal at Mauritania SN 4 goals. Nigeria at Benin SN 4 goals. South Africa at Rwanda Ebon 3-0. Morocco SN Congo 1-0. Gambia Equatorial Seychelles Ebon 7. Omantimante Gabon ati Burundi ebo ne ntena mienu. Ivory Coast was so 3 against Kenya womantimante. Algeria say 2 ama Uganda ati mu baako. Guinea and Botswana womu bo 2-2. Anna Somalia etina fima Mozambique ekobo matna baako a womu entimante nti eno a ene ye match se tuja.
Eno Gabon match na o she Burundi 2-0 no. Check the time that the 2 goals came.
Eno Gabon Burundi game no said na esi on the 86th minute.
Yeah.
Anna Brantia ni dini Eddie Ngawa.
Yeah.
Ese first goal. Anna Lamina.
Yeah.
90+1 to say Nigeria.
Lamina, Mario Lamina. Wolverhampton Wanderers, Juventus, Southampton at some point in time. He's the one. I want to say the 91st minutes goal to Gabon. Mind you, the game before this Gabon, we need 4-3.
So 90 minutes yeah. No munyanse.
But Ushomu group numa uni say Ufasa group na Gabon for no woman. Almost the same group with Ivory Coast.
Yeah. Gambia.
Yes, Gambia, any Kenya, Burundi, any Seychelles. Yeah, but Ivory Coast abaso 26 points. It means that say Uber number of games and carry 30 points now because you bought 5 other teams in the room 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the room.
Yeah.
So if all of them is giving you 3 points home and away back and forth, it's 6 times 5. It should have been maximum 30 points. They say when you grouping. But then the Ivorians had 26
with 25 goals.
Yes, 25 goals. Almost considered back crime as 5.
Wow.
Now, for me, any big deal, mommy, what the Ivorians have done. For me, the most important thing is what the Gabonese were able to do. Check Gabon 4 points. You know?
Gabon had 25 points plus of 13 goals.
Yes. In the Ivory Coast now, yeah, but you know, so because Ivory Coast is a normal footballing nation, you themselves World Cup, no Bobby, the likes of Didier Drogba, or you're the holding African Cup of Nations holder. But Gabon team now, we have not heard of the story so far. No, they have garnered 25 points. So 25 points, no. Upa Fako groups be brave and go back qualify automatic.
And in their qualification matches against Ivory Coast, no.
Yeah.
Omoko Ivory Coast, now Ivory Coast say 1.
Yeah.
But our Gabon home no, ombo 0-0.
0-0. It's we say about 25 points now. You bet in a group A, group B, group C. You bet in a Senegal group, bet in a Ghana group, bet in a Nigeria group. Almost all of the groups in qualify automatic. That is the level of quality and closeness in the African qualifying rounds.
But who baby are free back?
Yeah.
Because group A.
Yeah.
Egypt when you are 26 points.
26 points.
I know the leader. Senegal and you 24 points.
In the
I know they are qualified. Gabon Cup.
Yeah.
Oba South Africa group now. Omunya 18 points.
Okokra.
Group D Cape Verde 23 points.
Yeah, Kokokra.
Group E Morocco 24.
Kokokra.
Okay. Group F when you 26. Ehona Omuankasa wono.
Yeah.
Okay. Group G omunya 25. Algeria.
Yeah.
Enti awakra and can also because there be goals, you know.
Yeah.
Algeria, yeah. 16 class of 16 goals. Nah, upper group H, what they never so. Tunisia, and 28.
Tunisia, the end of Ubian channel. Ubia, Ubia, so Alpha Goka, or Ubia channel. Only be Tunisia, the end of outlier.
Okay. And Ghana, the end 25. And Uyama, the Amabo Boy, 2 teams depend on bet me advance. Ghana a group no, and Algeria group no, because points no, better goals.
Exactly.
At the change
Gabon. Imagine say Gaboni the same points. They get 25
the same
points.
25.
Exactly.
Anna Oko okay, so Sanet here.
In the game before a match of Burundi Bebono. Na Pierre America Obama Young Sabeka was set 4 goals in the game prior to that. Pierre America Obama Young. Omone Gabon match no. Omko ball 4-3 el honum. 4-3 Omone Gambia, sorry. Gambia Yakuba Mente Krum. Brighton and Hove Albion. Wingana da no Chelsea Hana Jin power wings as well. Oma Dani Wobe exactly like Yakuba Mente Krum no.
Yeah.
Now Gabon for the Echo ball 4-3. Pierre America Obama Young Germany year no. 90 something minutes no the red card. 85th minutes no the red card. So in the final game, I said Gabon Ebo. Now at least omunya draw. Send a beya. Anya shake on Marco playoffs no captain Pierre America Obama Young pra. And a born and ra. omuni Burundi Gabon bo fio is go ne ma no more pimso in the 86th minute
team watch Gambia said the 4
yeah
oni Burundi bo afi ba akokra ma
Emma, the 6 minutes. Oh, pushing ya until last few minutes in your kind, you know, that's when they got the goals. So Gabi, very competitive. The Gabonese example is clear.
Okay.
Now we can even go to the group where Senegal were in. Senegal, any the DRC, a group no honor. Gabi, can African football? When we mentioned Senegal in the last 5 years, and DRC in Kahumbi. DRC, yes, when it was Zaire, was one of the first countries south of the Sahara to qualify for the World Cup, granted. But in modern footballing history, especially in the last 10, 20 years, 2 decades, 3 decades ago, Zaire have not been part of the conversation, especially post-Sahara wars. No, when the DRC, when Zaire was divided into the Democratic Republic of Congo and Congo in itself, no, they've not been the same. But then look at the job in the group that they were in with Senegal, in the group that they were in with Omwamumu and the games that nobody expected them to qualify. Senegal ran for their money.
2 points different.
2 points. And now Senegal is like here and come qualify. And DRC be found wako. And it's not Senegal share the
yeah.
Very, very keenly contested. DRC and 22 points was our group in him. Senegal for 24 points was our group in him. And then so the last international window, Senegal for no call Mitre Stadium. Kinshasa. And Agabi. Omuni omko pimso. DS Congo for the can share first goal. I think it was Atamasawaku and share our first goal. Gabi umbo go ni bo etuma. Ye Bayana Senegal for na she show money oma ye. Nicolas Jackson money
again.
Yes. And they've turned it around. It's inside 4 teams that will go playoffs no. Obia a peculiar story. Before I even come to the Nigerian story, the DRC story is exciting. Gabonese story, you know, you're one of the best because they want to go to the World Cup. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang are getting back to playing good football in Marseille. He would want to inspire them. The likes of Mario Lamina think that they owe the country something. Then there's the story of the DRC of Atta Masuaku, Chancellor Mbemba, Yohan Wissa, all of these big names. When you talk about European football, they are part of the creme de la creme. And they should be at the world stage, you know. They want to be there. Then the 2 big boys, Ebane saying, in Cameroon in Nigeria there, saying automatically it should have been a bet right.
Yeah. Because the lives of our players or more, and the history in the African terrain there, and Nigeria and Cameroon there. And Caribbean automatic qualification and case nanka get one apre.
Yeah. Esa come na come in a long time. But then it wasn't to be so. I don't know say Cameroon and no I was stadium one. There was a video of Samuel Eto'o on France ni bi ka chere say masa Ejumana wo yero as president of the FECA Fourth and it's not good. They stood up to him. They told him that his management of the national team no yet.
But 19 points they Kofi anya worried.
So
19 points.
They stood up to him. Now say watch our group me The Cameroonian group is an interesting group for 2 reasons, and I'll run you by them before you made the Nigerian come because we say people are very much interested in the Nigerian conversation. The Cameroonian group are very, very interesting in terms of the World Cup qualifying matches and so on. That was the group at Cabo Verde Free. You know, Cabo Verde the country that's the smallest by size after Islander. Qualify Iceland, qualify World Cup maybe. Cabo Verde any Cameroon group Cabo Verde qualify. Cameroon in qualify. I'm a Cameroon point in time. Nan Libya create attack Cameroon. Yeah. Because when you're 19, Libya was 16. Yeah. Now, when says Libya match in BBC we've not spoken about it and can't follow me home come. Libya versus Cape Verde. Boss be 2-3 for Libya for goalkeeper and then and then 9.
Okay.
Feeble boss ibio. When I saw the goals, I could not believe it until I went to verify. So maybe CAF better after all of these things, and I don't want to take Sanya Mano and smear it on the shine of Cape Verde for. But Cameroon, this is a Cameroon team. I didn't say ideally they should be going to the World Cup. 19 points.
But Kofi, for the past 5 years,
yeah,
as a Cape Verde, Gambia,
yeah,
Madagascar,
Comoros, sometimes
Comoros,
yeah.
Or Emfa Comoros,
Yeah.
Almost as of many new developmental stages of football, as Yadin said, down course. But for the past 5 years, Cape Verde team no almost said no. Make the last time I got a new Mushai. Not commentator ne ka say born and crofone born so munya number of years bi emo mo yes ania mana baby on bedu ene anoma qualify World Cup no mo
World Cup. And they've done a very good job. Long time ago, I'ma try in crack. But no you succeed. It's just a matter of time. Find what works for you, hit on it, and be consistent and get the results. The Cameroonian team, a team with Charles Castillo. I went here, your friend Carlos Baleba, Brighton and Hove Albion, Fifi. Then of course Eta Young, Obo Emma, I think either Levante or Getafe or Spanish La Liga, a player Barca fortune in recent times. Of course, there's Brian Mbuemo. Of course, Andrew Onana, they ain't can say when they couldn't go.
Eta bo Levante.
Levante, right? Gabi, these are players, and as a teams are.
What about crowd boy Zambo Aguiza Crumpo?
Zambo says yeah, Zambo Aguiza cry. I'm a
now to be quiet and come now.
This is a strong Cameroonian team, but not.
Wow.
But Gabi, Enra, they are Nigeria for you know. They showed something that is synonymous to Nigeria as a people and as a country. Only Nigeria for they don't give up.
Okay.
Omako is a Ghanaians with extra hearts. As they be so many drink. Even in commerce, business, need trade, they try to do more than the average regular Ghanaian commerce person.
A way of doing their
get their things and get through with it. Now, yesterday in that game, the game plan, how they went into it, getting the results, for me, was the right thing. And Seoube Kaya, just before Nigeria went into that game against Benin, not all in favor, but we were playing at home in Oyo. And I remember I saw a pre-match presser when Eric Shelley Eka said they will do their best. Because that is all they can do and hope that they get the results on the night. You see, there have been games Eric Shelley Abo. I think 6 of them are about for Nigeria for national team coach. Olusu Akokrao. And that is why say one year you wake up and you blame the Nigerian coach say Onyadea. Maybe you've not looked at when he took over the job. Or nobody take you over in the World Cup qualifiers.
Because in their last 5 matches, Omun yeah.
But Okobo draw be was Zambia. Almost some draws with Zambia. Zimbabwe, sorry.
The draw, okay, and no crowd Africa Cup of Nations.
In a World Cup qualifier, in their group, it's
Zambia.
Yeah,
Zambia but draw home.
Yeah, I'm going to draw.
Yeah,
for them, that is where Nigeria lost out on automatic qualification.
Okay,
because if they had gotten that win in that game, there was not a branch friend Victor Osimhen on Kambi. So maybe not Victor Osimhen availability. He was not with the team, and they feel like that's affected them. What do they have to do in that night? A big night like that, win and win handsomely. I mean,
but against Zambia, and they know Dinamo.
Victor Osimhen.
Yeah, about 87 minutes. They only go on the say.
Okay. That is that game number 1-1.
Yeah,
draw.
1-1.
Since then, they have to now get the results. Brefie Beshe Oyo. Nenya results Nafako. Difficult match.
Acquire any omudi any bidia course over by Arahan.
Brabeshe. And see. Nigeria for no team bia maybe because there's too much quality sometimes almost lack it their friend balance or partners.
Okay.
But yesterday they got it. Ademola Lukman did not play the game. So the creative from wide area had to fall on a branch friend is Sami Chukwueze and a branch friend of Victor Osimhen centrally. And then of course to make sure that they will get the goals for team and friend of Nigeria. And check. Yeah, I know that we will not be able to show the goal at Victor Osimhen. But so who TME that's who you should go and find that goal again. Almost boats are through past the man. Or open up the body. Saying oh Bobo Nako far post no bush first 2 minutes. And I like the celebration. One question. They kept on with it. On the night when Nigeria needed somebody to stand up for them, it was their star man Victor Osimhen. 3 goals. They remember the game. They went to the touchdown of coach catch up Zamasa. I got 1 goal. Because you answer 1 goal now, we will still not get the qualifying from the playoffs area. It's Yankoko Pego. Then, of course, a branch of friend Frank Onyeka, one of my favorite Nigerian players.
So, at that time a boy.
A flicky ball from wide area. One and drop you, the friend non drop me. Pam! Nesha Frank Onyeka. 4-0. Without conceding. Wow. So, I setting up the tone for the playoffs. And the next international break, but that is in November. I want 4 teams to be here. Morocco. To Nigeria, be here Gabon. On any babo. AC Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang see. Essentially, you see Messi. Aubameyang to Michel Sane 4 goals now. With Osimhen 3. He will need more people to score. Then there is going to be the big one. Francophone, which is the DRC versus the Cameroonian national team, the Indomitable Lions. Where Cameroon will believe that if it comes to African football and folklore, they own it. They are the big boys. But the DRC will believe that yes, you players, we have the men.
When the match way semi AFCON semi-finals and as a finals, because per the teams are and the kind of players or more teams in as AFCON final. Because Ukonya Nigeria Cameroon a AFCON final. Ukonya Nigeria Gabon a AFCON final. Unya Nigeria DRC a AFCON final.
Ya boya azana winner no edeko. No akwesiasia. Omo maka wa chire Oceana in the likes. It's interesting for the top 9. Okay. All of them had peculiar roots, peculiar stories, and congratulations to Bia. We'll see how knockout friends and playoffs number.
You pick an quite
say
for countries
DRC. That's where my money is on.
DRC.
Yeah, I fancy a DRC Nigeria final.
If it's not when the reason DRC and them say you had the and on come here. Besmako Usubampa Ayala, good morning.
Good morning.
Na empum to say.
Oh, Nyamia don't be a fine pa.
Minim odi ebesa se every baby area na say obesa say from the top near the abadan say ya.
7 years ago. And meet Austin JJ coach interview be our guarantee. And Mubusan say African players no on be superstars. Na omo Europa. They play with a lot of finesse and style, flair, no more to train, no more but so muba fear. No more for mama. It is difficult to see them play with some freedom, no name, entertaining football, no. And I think that even as Ghana crowd here, a big issue am I in?
Yeah.
Say, number 7 no more ball, patemo ball, kudus mubo aboche, omo back Ghana, omo intimi boss out same football ni be a problem there. Gabi. JJ coach Biera no or say. I also be at ase. Because obi anyone what is our situation as a team players no.
Okay.
Untimi nkanche me say wo ubetime analysis a ebema omo mutie ati ase why semenyo ebo ye wo bomot but oba Ghana untimi mbo the same thing than say semenyo nanga say catch us say this is the difference.
Yeah, of course.
So no nanga say catch us say oh the entire me ya there obomot eye weni say me she Ghana just na because of weni ntino mintimi mbo to say na me bo e wo bomot no JJ Okocha say it is simply because the African game is difficult to play.
Wow.
Yes, star na the ball. The way I get close, you can go you're too physical, and you bring aggression at the ball. And my African game now, it is always difficult. Say
Oh, okay.
So we have more for the ball now. There are sometimes you are afforded the time to control Pejawuti. Now I pass it. But Kabi, Africano, park no crying, ya papa. And you will need 2-3 touches and send a born a drama. By the time I touch it, 2-3 touches, no opponent will close you on you, dada. And yes, Obejina will chamber or just over bow or bow or the same or the 9 man. In the African football, JJ coach says it is difficult than some of Europe. Timothy Fika said, you watch Latvia against England, you clearly will see that this is a better team than we.
Yeah. Ntianya den away na eba win. Yeah.
Nancy Austria say San Marino's or 10.
Yeah.
But won't be because say even Egypt any Lesotho. And I watch Algeria against Mukwala, Uganda. Algeria qualifying for Eco World Cup in Dada. Who show the quality of our players? We had my rest being in a gym. Koshebo Mukwala Muno boy. Koshebo Muno boy. Mukwala scored early in the game. Gabi, Algeria needed in the last 5 minutes, 2 penalties. And so I say Uganda. Penalties, mienu. And nobody say 2-1. Now she game ni bia. To say yes. You pon game in the stadium supporters, because they are planned celebration after the match. Say, celebrate World Cup qualification, But I can't get to where Uganda force and you go him. The African game is difficult. Very, very, very difficult. Your approach to the game, your physicality, your aggression, any normally say your pitch quality in this no.
I'm not giving the boy a ding.
Even the weather condition, especially say a lot of European players or Mobomau or national team now, they are used to the European weather. No, any idea? Or body do mu jine wiano so sana. No is so difficult for Omo. Look, and I watch the Nigerian game with one eye on the South Africa for the day.
Enti Posuma me asana mamuwe uremo. Ko Amuzupi question of the day. Amuzupi question of the day. Ahana talkability ni nyina wo. Mo amanyo opportunity kura wo YouTube there. Mo beti the American say ye pa. Amuzupi question of the day ni say. Amai enan ana omo ekwakobo mini tournament. Ana say omo ekwakobo mo na fie nya mu baako. Amana qualify Aqua World Cup. Your Gabon, your Nigeria, your DR Congo, Anna your Cameroon. Why na ujidi yese? Na so mine pen Anna ujidi yese after sa 4 tournament no 4 mini tournament no mokobono obetimi apie akwa kan 9 na aka no na yenya 10 teams at the Aqua World Cup. Amuzu P question of the day. I say Nigeria, Gabon, anasa DRC, anasa Cameroon, and they be qualify for comment in the Fabrayala. Afiyan Twazo.
You see, Gabi, Nigeria for an idea. Yes, started World Cup qualifiers. I don't know, but I think say na omutimu yomo.
Okay.
They were coming from a very, very good place. Inti Oman now Omo so ntem. The last AFCON I boy, Nigeria played in the final. And they lost to Ivory Coast. And yes, that's the qualifiers we are tell. you started way back 2023. And Nigeria started qualifiers for the World Cup. No, Kabi, they thought they were a very, very good team. They could easily qualify. But look at the way they started. Ewofie, 1-1 against Lesotho.
And no kind of maybe
Yes, 1-1 against Lesotho. Omukobo 1-1 away against Zimbabwe. Omuni South Africa mienu omuni so omuna come here almost strong contenders no. Both home and away about 1-1. Then they lost to Benin 2-1. Benin knows almost show 4-0 no. Benin show 2-1. Oh mo fear. And almost satin fear the match that FIFA was talking about. And Zimbabwe is about 1-1. And ASA losing to Benin away.
Lesotho draw.
Drawing against Lesotho and Zimbabwe mono. And they say only the contenders in South Africa went near said both home and away. That is Nigerian's problem. Okay. And look, so Obi here, Obaka say ayala South Africa na a D first group ni mo. At the end of my work, say now was Nigeria, extra South Africa. I back those home and away games, you know. Now, so at least I was tipping Nigeria to beat South Africa, and go and play a draw in South Africa. I didn't remember Makasa. Look, the South African team is made up of majority Mamelodi Sundowns players, and only some few additions we account. On the face of the pin sheet, say Ode player for player. Kevin Bassey, Winfred Ndidi, Alex Iwobi, Moses Simons, Samuel Chukwueze, Victor Osimhen, and the best player on the African continent, the African Footballer of the Year, Ademola Lookman. Look, Memfa Ola Aina na Mumayo. Say Nigeria for pride do mu players na. On any good day, they are supposed to be South Africa.
Weja mo master no. Akọ Adams. Weja ni wo.
They are supposed to beat South Africa. I am Mukwana no. And say Oman me as South Africa both home and away. And the points no drop here against Zimbabwe, Lesotho. South Africa picked those points. So that was the difference. And the end was over. A lot of the Nigerians are not going to follow the game. No? Nigeria can share. Not South Africa can share. But the moment of what you say, next day, almost supporting Super Green Eagles. Almost South Africa share 1 against Rwanda. You could feel the atmosphere of the more drop is a team because they knew say the moment South Africa wins, Nigeria can score 20-0. It will not give them automatic qualification. Now, Gabi, and why I made this point. Say, oh, team. Now will be Sir Victor Osimhen. Oh, team more. He comes with a full package. Advantages and any disadvantages. Disadvantages need be NSA. Or a player game no about 90 minutes, he will play the game under pressure.
Okay.
Or bet yet he will be our park. He will call for any pass, say Embra no. He will always making runs in the box, saying say, when you do penalty box in Chenchewa, or no also looking for him. Sometimes Sabian can be very, very negative for any team. Stability and will focus. Say, yet to be more game now the focus is only one man. Then how do the other players take advantage of? But Kabi, they are ever fun. And when you get the ball to him, he start to give you the goals. And he said, you know, see, you know. You start a game now, on your more beate and say, dear me, you know, parking. So today is my game. Give it to me, I will score. Me and you win, no. Me already a bit me I found. And Enra, he did it brilliantly. Your ball game new year. You go to all the Nigerian handlers are unim. Then they started bringing back conversations. Say, Omotia said the entire Victor Osimhen, etc. Other players, no.
And Tiala was my combi baby says, I didn't know what AFCON or yeah, the same thing at AMFA.
But AFCON said they played in the final. Nigeria team they bought AFCON final, no. They punched above their way too.
Okay.
Because Senasa time na yeko AFCON. If you were ranking African teams, no more Germany so pa. Morocco was number 1. Senegal were defending champions. But Nigeria fair more could pay in the final. And see, they knew they had done well. And Makacho say, yes, AFCON final no more coin. Any preceding friendlies beyond Boya, and Momu say, as a German national, and we are almost at the beginning of the qualifiers for the AFCON, for the World Cup.
Okay.
Look, playoff now, yeah, Bebono. I have one problem with CAF criteria. You read their statements, and we should be fair to CAF. Rules are there order that. And yet, because we came into a fiasco, no, and they wanted to say, almost bending rules for me to qualify. The circular was already there. But Gabi, unless probably I will need better education. The only argument I understand, the number of teams in certain groups are not a door switching be. So what CAF is saying is, see about qualifiers in the area to determine the best runner up for no. Entity group no so na any equal teams. And it's all where majority of the groups no. Omo real group ni no. Ya expunge omo points from the group.
Okay.
Ye omo games omo boy every group ni. And for instance, say when we are on the face of it, oko now we share groups na. Maybe better points as runner up than Nigeria. Bebre. As many as 20 something points, but they couldn't make it to the playoff. The simple reason, and I say, teams now and we was our groups in him. Maybe was sharing home and away.
Okay.
And to him, and come on the edit kind of about the advantage of Nigeria. So, for instance, if in a Nigerian group, and let me check and get it to you very, very well. Say, Osha Nigeria group ni mua. Na Osha Zimbabwe, and away, meboa. Now Zimbabwe now away. On in Nigeria, both home and away. Nigeria could only manage 2 points from Zimbabwe. 1-1 home, 1-1 away. It's Nigeria 2 points. And it's okay. Yenyi Zimbabwe, a points are on and free at the anymore. Nigeria only have 2 points taken away from them.
Okay.
But you will get other groups.
Or
send home and away 6 points.
Okay.
You take that away, and Nigeria any superior points than Sanko Fono. And to my confused, don't be confused.
Oh, okay.
This is the criteria.
Okay.
We will group no. Yeah, expunge your points in every the final determination of the best runners up no. Am Zimbabwe now we were Nigeria group no. Because Nigeria need ball 1-1 Elfie, 1-1 away, only 2 points and Nigeria and so far say yeah apply sir and runner. That is why Nigeria is part of Omo airborne in the playoff no.
Okay.
Look. Nigeria against Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's Gabon. I will not underrate Gabon. Especially when all these games are going to be played at a neutral grounds in Morocco. It's home advantage be anymore. And yeah, home and away. No, I can say, oh, me born home no. Every results be make amends. We are strictly one leg affair. Na yenya do be qualify na winners ni mienu abebo.
Nti yemfa say I said round of 16 knockout.
Yes. Nti sa wo hwe format na. Samia ye do na wie na yenya Nigeria, Gabon, DRC, Cameroon no. Games on Bebono, they are supposed to play one-off games against each other. Then the winners will also play one-off game in the final. Now yenya Africa playoff team Ekobo in the intercontinental competition. I will say obetimi enya slots na di amayen and I say it will go elsewhere. Now me mom dear, yesterday I saw Nigeria beat Benin 4, but I'm still not convinced about their team. And I believe say in Morocco against Gabon in one-off game, they should just make sure say any anti-climax to most citizens, you know. Our mom hope no. On the way qualifiers, Oman started you, but they've ended it very well. As after the money about Charlie, we need to do something, and they've been able to do it. Imagine Obo way to make sure say you get a playoff slot, then you go and lose it to Gabon. DRC any Cameroon game in there. Gabi, Ejabetum, Ejapa, any betum. Ejabetum, Gabi, sa game no. Because if you watch the Cameroon team here, now where the DRC team here, nothing separates them.
Player quality.
Oh, Obia won the son in the DM. Papa, Bono mo Bono. Nothing. Be bien we better separate you mo. I use some mobile media anywhere. I am telling you. Me what dia make say, am my way advantage over way. The only thing Cameroon are more of a powerhouse than DRC. And they've qualified from the African continent to the World Cup than any country. And see, Abia do the cruncher. Cameroon would remind Obia say, Massa, in the context of the World Cup, we are the masters on the continent, not even Egypt. And no pay. That is the only thing Cameroon met me the DRC for say about the history of African football. Now say young qualified World Cup, we've done it better even than Egypt or only the game on the continent. But we are no free. Gabi, and if you follow this African qualifiers, adding to separate the two teams now.
Wow.
Now to end with 9 teams now.
Quick one,
very quick. I think say Enra I mentioned it, and I will mention it again. Out of all of qualifying, Tunisia super
28 points.
Super. Perfect score. Perfect. But games didn't concede. Super. The second team will be Morocco. Because Gabi Sisi the African Commonwealth World Cup.
Morocco
they are the flag bearers.
Yeah, the Omoma
could do semis. And they are even expected to build on it. Because their football culture, their investment, any is good. And now they are the only African country left in the under 20 World Cup. And no more game, and I think about 8. Or France. The other game is between Argentina and Colombia. Say no more France. Morocco will not only be semi-finalists at the World Cup, our senior side. Oman 20 will be qualifying for the finals of the U20 World Cup. And they are doing a lot of things right. And me also say, among all the African countries now qualifying Eco World Cup, no, Gabi, you need a swap beam. So you bet me I power US, Mexico, and Canada. It's again Morocco. Ometi me ISR, no, Egypt, ometi me yet.
Okay.
And yet, and I'm not expecting anything from them. Then Senegal. Senegal are a very, very good team.
Okay.
I think say oba ufi North Africa now but before I call near tuntum na Senegal na superstars no and omu put it together team now where listen you believe say this is a very very good team. Yesterday I watched Algeria. Omo bad. They have some players be ye chom from France. Algeria for my bomber and omo flare no any BBS. So we will see how far Capo Verde is going to enjoy the moment because historic even for them to be there, and a lot of the neutrals will support them. Baby whether Mexico, Canada or USA, anytime they will play game, Omo will come and support them. South Africa will add up to the numbers. I know they will come home early. The same with Ivory Coast and Ghana story in the AI story. In Tibetan to Basia, now this and community. Okay. It's a wrap for the African continent. Your games to share pie in the playoffs, and I think say Mukrabe they actually qualifiers in Angola.
Yeah, because teams in our one year.
Yeah, playoff number the crash.
Young commoner na ye medi and come back on na and come back on. What the mammy any say, Miria na mabaso. I feel near Babedi Black Sass and como. Na minim say any day fellas well. Players be a no more Ghana for your bomber or mamba apart from Edin Ketia any Calimos no. Players ni bi wo ha ebe unyante na san komone ye de banti twame energy drink de ba ko pe ras energy drink no ana me kamfo e de ama ras energy drink no ade ase vitamins e wo na fe wo mo de ton we ni caffeine e de aso the power of ginseng abo ma ni pedue ni nya hoade ye panti wo ye ba ma kwa na no ras energy drink abo aye pa enam ginseng e wo mu nti no e ya no apebi ato Trillium Industries obo ana e de ras energy drink e de aba no mesa betimi from our 0322 190877 na won so wetimi atodem answer adia ba ko ehun hia wa dusiam say technical and vocational wo mo side ne dia adia eboa pa ya practicals na unity at say open institution ba ko e ba na practical aspect ehun hia omu ye pa eno unit esan say omo unit practical institute anso ho a say e ba na say IT training chese would bet media ko anim padia uniat and eboa wo say about network and cyber security engineering wo do from after design technology with drone air piloting and you do from software engineering and a computer basic and office administration works about CCTV camera installation and the management wo do from data analytics and online business and after e-commerce ni nyina no wo do from na answer computer hardware any mobile phone air technicians no sisi no wo trend wo no di sika pa and to any jiwu no answer baba unit na ya do afam na sisi de trend pa no AI artificial intelligence no sisi no eno ne dia air trend pa eno ana unit se ode from any other computer courses ni nyina oboa ama watimi akwa full practical training ana ya de ma enwo nya se chinchire se wonya computer entity kakra nsa na we baby uobi uni bi otimi ba wukra ebia IT in diploma na kama obetimi di aba eno yemfa ho ode de ehia no se waba so pese usua computer mu ninde ye do FM ye wie nso ane ye do certificate e de ama afa ye be ma ho akwanya na ne big companies etimi aye adwuma eno no ye friends attachment no na ono makwa akoye adwuma esua niema no de ebro so kra na etimi enso aboa ade no a wonso woye no your regular classes na on your weekends na dey no ewo ho your evening ones na ewo ho nti about the air distance classes na ni nyina ye do FM about certificate nso dey papa no ana ye dey emao entimi ka se frɛ ini ya tisisi ewa 0555 383 na wafrɛ unit na omonso amountity Alaska Star Enterprise say bana pass open wallpapers quality blankets on be ana ewo ho a wode emao eku panels best spread modern TV stands TV backlight ana best live sini nyina wode bi emao when it is sofa covers one akwa friend nyina bi di abana for artificial grass ni PE foams no Alaska na akwa kofa di abakumasia would when it chem ewo aduma Prudential Plaza first floor Mrs. Anote Plaza ana omonso ewo mini Prudential Plaza ana edi enimhwe enkranso de ane tiptoe lane to do wo mini MTDD office na nase Ecobank na edi edumhwe number so moji so 0256 330075 and 0200 281 now Fralas Castar Enterprise apomidi yade hu hia ye pa enti ana kan for say ba mixture na make kan for ediama eba na yade kwankra wutu ase ya yentu ampacho edu pe bebo kan for say ba eba na say BP ana peso wutu ase diabetes na wutu ase ebia inflammations ni pains wo dia no ebia wo hia edu betimi support liver adna infections wetimi to ase dia kan for say ba mixture na mede ema stomach ulcer na bebu atuni nyina ase edi ama edu pe uko pharmacy ni drug shop bia benya biato ebom number say betimi afro ewo so 0245 455740 and as 0245 588266 na African Force Heba na wenya di papa so etimi anum I'm shock mining engineering training school I'm shock ese eba no programs awodo a omo de bi ma wedding and fabrication and afi occupational health and safety ni nyina yadu from a programs awodo a yebo we obi a weni Jesus person konkro farmer so na okwadin tete ana so person konkro farmer so na akoya adwuma pa dia entity a ho be kama pa e dia ma no se obeba ibsock mining mining sector ana se construction sector ana person odi uya wadwuma pa dia ene brana omo so emfa onfo esan se dump truck forklift ni nyina do from wheel loader roller backhoe grader bulldozer ana for excavator ni use ni nyina no wo mo do from we are no mama certificate awodo MVTS certificate afenso no mama machine certificate na mama equipment safety certificate when your driver's license no when your mine com certificate na wo mu anso ewo oboase there say high sense wo mu so edan enchono epe na ubenyo mu oboase zongo numbers a wo mu ejisu 059 0539 732 766 na wonso afra ibsock mining and engineering no so etimi adusu ye pa ade ba ko ehunhia pa ayese ni pedia no wo be ma no enso ejina brane sade na eboa ma wonso etimi akọ anim ye pa ninti adam be ba be kanfo eye du papa ade ama ni pedia ni nya hoade a ana eboa maka cho se agudie mu nsam na nimpomudin ana ekọ na wapomudin so ebe jina brane a eye du ebe boa pa na wosisi mu etimi ada ho ezan se nipadia no se sisie ni timi da ho a ena eboa ye pa ma otimi koba sisie ekura wonante sisie ekura wonkotoye sisie ekura wona sisie no ekura sese bi wo ye bema ubetimi ama oyire ni ade ana sisie wo yo ba ebetimi ama wura enso ani ade na ene me was surprise enso de ma sisie mu adwuma. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning.
Na empom to say
nyame anum gabi bibia go
ya da nyame asepa ene wo se dian pa na wo de emaye na me surprise na tia no fama me ye ne company be na edi nkomo yi
ye ne Pemsan Company Limited yakofa Siemens Vita Herbal Mixture and any capsules edro no bia se agan eno ene ne ba bi de hu nkomo kakra na said odi ka ye intro no sisie ni de ne kuta ni pedua no sisie ni na ye the center of the body and I said di pedua ni mfimfini if you straw eba be si so if you form console e o sisi no and a link ni pedua na the upper body and then the lower body it is a wunya how o sisi ho a ye or how kese pa because ben for say e kumuti asimpo or your summer and can now I day o twede ni dia herban sisi a wo tiase o sisi kra no anhye da anye we kra no hu sen na o sisi besa ya o ya na de wato fom na gabi enye sisi hu adwuma nkwan na duro no ye esa boa mema ema mutimi gina omo na so e wo mpem
bo pause for fama me e hona munya agan ni free ya na
I know honey free because agan e din agan na chese agan o konkran kasemwa
okay
chese agan na nipa o de agan no kra ma duro no kra so ena ma duro no dwumadie no e dan so and am say nim say yesese dua enyini ana epo ye den ebem nipa na o de duro no agan no ma duro no so nipa na o be 75 to 80 years.
Oh wow.
Papa penny inti o hye se papa penny anu madru na etimi aye adwuma bia na nka ne mranti bremu na eso ye otimi ye se adwuma no e dia ma no na de edru edine to edru no se edru we dia ya agan ne kire se ejan so de emu odin o ton so e ko hit target ne bia o suma ejan ma na ko ne ho ana e ko asempa itia ma memfa number no nto anim wa wo hye me utie me sisi number no 0244 718 557 I mean sisu biem 0244 718 557 offer no na e busy affair we so 0241 604 702 0241 604 702 friend numbers are media to dwa sisi a any doctors na omo ye aduro na na omo kasa me say ofra enferry chabo checheche problem ni mo how them show mo aduro we ye aduro a ema memma omo hoden aba form etimi sorry tentempa and I'm say now no cry me buy me bre imrante no wo chi
eh eno sa dan say dem mate woni me ntwa wa no na nipa ba ko na edi kan di hu nkomo
okay
na emfa nyame ensi anka no kre edo no so wa anto se ode kwa akoye yi aha wase ni sisi na ye na medwene wase small boys ade o sisi de ebesi de na ye ya ba ni nyina ye wase sisi enti na otoye
extra benefits
boys
add-ons
na wase de agan ye na anopa me ba ya na offer tilo agan and I'm say adru enti aja minim so odwananum ya fra no anopa ya na ni patentin kra de okay say ni patentin kra na sisi ya de eya na heda nya yi chase wono so chase agan no enya asem ketwa ubisa na ono so ono otofo sisi ya de adum nyame anim ne mpacho mami nsiso enye sisi yare aduro nko a wo de wo hwe na wo ya yi a agan to because anya hwe kra no menye nipa mienu o mo ankasa wo fidue mu ha o ma di hu adanse
tell the wo kan gabi no kra ni say agan enye sisi yare nko a agan no eboa mma aboa memma eboa obi an honam ye ne ya pains be bia je say agan ne de yeduru a eso bia nya bidom. And I'm say a guy no a general war being a draw. I say, yes, what Tana say, who's so ha, yo, ya, and I said, we'll hold the ones one to a guy in the because a bob still immune system, not my own system, not holding a bem. The moment I did remaining is a immune system, not holding a coffin. As I wait in the iron. See, immune system, no one holding ya 10 piano, ya real party and bem. A guy near a draw a boy member more than more on Pemuna Buffon. A guy a draw a bois and mass be almost more than more pemaba form. There be a sexual weakness. I got be Anna the dona I associated to Bema say sexual weakness Bema no I am the Debbie or baby I want to said the one who and Nemun Kita who dear also wanted to responding to the Ukun de Bano also or you're sexually weak. It is sexual weakness. Now you both embarrassing women now. Ba oni atenka oba sabi oni ni kunu edi nhyiamu a on ti feelings oni libido no onso de nti oba bi a wo tie yen ana wo hye we bema na wo yire said yes or the maw no on fa maw sa timi so oh ya de no but response no on reciprocate the wo de ma no I say protons na electrons who proton who donate but the electron on originals on reciprocate bibia e ma sabi unya sa static feeling na say unya sa anigye no e ma utimi koso ede Nini na a sexual weakness. Into a baby holo libido be a sexual weakness. Aside that, a guy no esa bois a ye intinimu. Ye won you no be a guy more a friend nitric oxide. Nitric oxide ni jume die na say a ye intinimu, a who intinimu, a pra intinimu, a clinic, and I say a ye a fibiara, a wo intinimum. Into a bebecasa, ayana men say mititriti. Ayana men naye mititriti. A woman anansi acheme, a ye won't tininimu. Nyankopon ye ntini se moja endi afro ni esane the moment a ntini ni ba bi besi a moja ni ntimi nko no na titiriti ya na se de broni be ka se numbness na iden aba ho nti obi a ne nsane na ye ntitiriti bia be hia gan afi so obu a se ne de ye sciatica ntini afri ne to ase e ko ne nankokom no aya ne mu twetwe no edu ba bi a obu ha se ofra o se doctor me de ne se me nante kakra bi ne man pe ba bi antena se anyema home a na me ye atu ahwe o se ode ne eye sciatica na se ntini ni mu ne mu asisi a oto ase twetwe e ba wona nkokomu na eduro no eye agan Siemens Vital Herbal Mixture ne capsules eduro ni tie ni ye nom ba ko nya ba ko okọ pharmacy na drugstore na herbal shop kro na okọ a to nsuo ne to pae no yemfa efie nsuo ene nom agan to pae. Nemo ni ye aduro eye liquefied and as insuo dia wo de benom to paye no Gabi anu nti na obi obenom agan ni bia no oh man to say me dey ma me mema sem so na mema sem and even when it comes to mema sem no kra na ye was special code bi wo ha and you omo ye extremely weak the wire mre ono ka say gitum say wire mre Gabi be me bia say ahomache from 4:35 unya de bi e no morning glory Bema bia se sabi obema no ye adwuma na se nyamra se 10 bia na ahomache no obema ni timi pagya ni mu obema ni pagya ni mu a ose nya na oyere no fa nkopra enti anu ne fe ne sorry de kopra and the moment I betimi aye sade na ma oyere no aye niye no oyere pra otonom nani age enti oba bia na bema bia onya morning glory ye niye no de bia be hu ne nani age but a man and papa be sorry na opra no amuna onhwe akokana na yese ni kunu ne ho onye de ommo ne ho modern enti se wo ye be mpo na se wa ye mra wo okoto adu na nom ne sa wo ye freye but because omo to adu ne sisi yare mpo omo nom ye no omo hu bibi e wo mmema semu
okay enti ye nye ne clear obi a ebia wo to for sisi yare de but wunim se wa ye mre pa
ha frɛ
okay
you code bi wo what's a better way code we won yes you code I bet sure say for we can and onkoto enya duro bi akwakoto account
okay
ye de ne ye tete formula na entete no ne na nanom no mo hwehwe nneoma bi o mo di nnuane bi ye fruit and vegetables ye wo nneoma bi a wo de ka ho a eboa ma duro na ho de ne timi kosoro a ene no nso no enya aphrodisiac enya aphrodisiac said da wanum bi no agan ne ye duro a ofre ye ya ye bet sure the number of dosage intina me ka say ofre number na ka say de how ne tie so wo ka ne ho bia de ne 2 years ne 3 years ye be ma dosage e bia to 5 unum wie no eno ano no unkoto agan ne biem wasa back to normalcy
oh okay
enya duro agi say obsebe oba ne oba ba be di nhyiamu a na akakonom ye onu ne bi wo ho a da wanum bi no performance stroke ha but we know a repair system no forever and ever what we
so I as a supplement no
that is it
okay
bia be hia gan bi obi a ana ne nom pem ye ne ya bia ne honam tutu no especially sickle cell A4 no this word I mu onyu kakra nsuo tutotutoi ma me bi frɛ o se me ba me koda bia gi se me de ntomago ana duku bo mi kotodwe bi ko mu tutu no sai nipa no be hia gan ni bi enam se ekuta endorphins edro we nyi fitia ne de ba bonten je meka the scientific researcher akọ edro we mu anya asem ketwa enti obi an honam tutu no se yekotodwe usisi ba biara no kokoto edro ni bi spinal cord issue wo wanya accident mpo na se wakọ hospital no no mu no ni bia na enko a kokoto edro ni bi wo to edro de wo hia de obeya ne se frɛ o fra kan de kronti a oto aduro no
okay
eno ano no ye ni general dosage wo
okay
obia ne dosage e de ma no anything yes oto a frɛ na ka say doctor me how ni ni ne he kwan be fa so be boa enka say e bia madam fu bi na ne mode mo mpam enkon kan okoto bi na onom ye no onom ni sei nti me so me koto anom ye wo individual differences
okay
nti no aduro we be no ma bi e be jana dosage be e bia na wo enjo ye be cho based on o problem no enti bomodi aso bia wo tie bia no emomodi enrum nkonkoto agan ni bi agan ni yedwuma bebre oba na menses emba obu na menses sizi emma bebe bi ho o low libido to the point say one ne rekra da hakra se ni nua ba only feelings not take okra ukokoto bia frɛ ye be kire onwoma bia de be kan a short time na bibia aye kama enso dia ma
my number ni bi
0244 718 557
0244
718 557 and it was 0241 604 702 0241 604 702 baby a ton do bia do wo kumase ha ramu e wo PFA pharmacy e wo Tafo Neuro Junction no so ko ho a do bia wo pe bia ma mutu neuro ton over the counter for ne pharmacy for
okay
mun konko to be calling like e wo Ashtown Misty Herbal mun na wo mrum wo de baby etu aduro ton wo Ghana ha bia no wo bo ramu a wo so opa agan na ship dealer say agan no emu ade sebo ayase nti that mu share na ma bisa na adekro no ma kan ne kokoye wo sebo ayase no
yana Summon Vital Herbal Mixture and in a capsule for us woman no omode adupa aba edi a obi anim eya gan enti koto agan ni bi na emo ana wonso no ene man sesa woni padua nim emfa ema na wonim se ayi ba ko bi wo ha me pa cho muntie ni ye pa na eya ade ho ehiam ye pa ezan se obere wesia ana word vision for isi ade omo malone ana me de me loan omo se me de se me de we ba mpa cho muntie ni ye muntie announcement we ye pa word vision Ghana ana Vision Fund Ghana ɛsi yɛn kamo bi ante ayɛ sɛ wɔn malone muntie nie na impo saa so ɔmbɛ malone pa ɔmo nka nkyɛw sɛ committee fa we bra sa na ɔmbɛ malone na ɔma malone enti muntie nie so obi from no ka kyɛw so oh wo World Vision Ghana anase Vision Fund Ghana wɔn malone na mpato mpemfo se yɛn ka nkyɛw sɛ oni kro no boa ɛne obetumi kwa ma posifoɔ nkyerɛ san sɛ ɔmo nyɛ saa ano mu dwumadie tie ɔmo ma lompo na nka pɛ sɛ ɔma ka kyerɛ sɛ fa ɛyɛ sika bi fa bra ansa na ɔmbɛ ma loan na ɔmo nso ama loan no ɛnti sɛ ne ɛyɛ TV so social media sɛ obi a bɛhu no Facebook anaasɛ wo Twitter anaasɛ ɔne nam TikTok no akɔpie sɛ ɔmo so Red Vision for ɛkyekyɛ sika wɔmo ma loan ne ade mpakyɛw ɛnyɛ saa na ɛteɛ mmom sɛ wo biribi ɛte saa ɛno nso ɔbɛfrɛ saa nhoma wei so na wɔreport oni kro anaso wadi nkyeremu bi a dia wonte ase no watimi ate ase yim fra World Vision our 0509 823 962 0509 823 962 na onso watimi afre omo mawie ne sande dupo ba kwa no so medi ema na fe yabedi nkoma na aka eye kwadwo reko Royal Enterprise na omo na womo edi eye reko heba mixture edi aba reko heba mixture boye pa menstrual pains ana general body pains eno na etu ase we ya be ma na wutiem na usisi ya de opese otu ase a eno eye reko heba mixture na ese onya binom ba eno so no menstrual disorders ni nyina onya binom eboa eye general we bi na eboa ma body pains ni nyina ase etu okọ pharmacy ana afi drug shop bi a ewo Ghana ha betimi enya bi ato emom breman Pentecost thank you Jesus building ni ma na wo mo ewo numbers wo mo ediso 0244 470067 and answer 0208672271 na onso wetimi afre wo mo ye pa now enkoma wo hopa ye ba be di ni nyina ese na no mbeka ya Ghana yenya qualification ana esa ase ba na o edin ketiase sisia blasters for your friend no beba Ghana your friend no beba Callum Horse no doy enso cheso onyo beba na minim se no ni din a mate na ayala de ono aya na hwehwe na different kwanyo fa so eten niema different na me pese mi baby san se sa two players yinko na se ebi mo ha yempo ankasa ne yakọ ene o makodi nkomo se omomra ana se yenye bia aba beka ho ana na san nkomo we ana Ibrahim Sani Dara kasama for the Ghana Football Association pato kasama for watwam na ye bi san se san nkomo wudire ho san no no so edina no ade atum atasa mpa san niema we ya ade a ha adwini ye pa na say invite omo ana say my am from no yenti Ibrahim Sani Dara.
It is that I was a personal for Kevin to play for the Black Stars. Do you realize that he never played in the AFCON qualifiers? Even when we were to play England in a friendly match and we had an away match at VR Congo, he refused to turn up for that match but turned up to play for the friendly against England because it was glamorous. And for that reason, I think that we must now attach some level of pride and some level of love for the country if we want to play. If someone wants to play, yes, we must get our best available players for the national team, but they must pass that commitment test. This is not a club side. This is a country. And if you want to play, yes, we want to get a good result, but we must also have pride. People must not take us for granted. Just because you want to play for the World Cup, you choose to play for Ghana, and then afterwards you pick and choose which matches you would want to play for. That I'm not for. So any player that would come must pass first the commitment test to Ghana.
And Ibrahim Sani Dara say player bia impo say why na you so be say kan dia ma Ghana no only problem o name no player kro say o pass commitment test level ansa na ye de na ba ye de na ba ye de na ba ana fe any player na better say match we dia mebo match we dia memo say oni kro no tesa eni kwan say ye ma no kwanya e ma no bo Black Stars match say no Ibrahim Sani Dara enkoma wadi etudwa na sports minister Yewura Kofi Adams wono so yebisa ne nsem ya na ono so yenti anu ya ono so ede emae sa so se yema sa players ni bi emra ana se yemo bia ente ne ba bi nkoma wono so edi jaye enso enie
every Ghanaian onim ball bo owo kwan say Obeko World Cup maybe once the coach and the technical team feel say nipa no ewo nia esefata ebeboa team whether say nipa no come home before ana afi na ye ko friend ana wa Bobby Pain afi on Bobby Bioma that still ne form no ewo soro a obetumi aboa all of them are available and I believe that akwenya eda homo obia yen yi bi film kura there are others a omoka say babara man no nyina no yen sanko na ye no won nye den enko kasa so ebinim wo ho omo Bobby Pain and omo yam friend will be mana maybe say a friend one as omo amba me pese me ko details ebi wo ho a yen friend one kura ebi wo ho a maybe they were looking elsewhere so my imagine say me available akwenya no eba beda ho ema coach no any the technical team say okay ni pay ya you say no mo nya available no say mo ya available then go say the one that come one ebe ya na enye because at the end of the day no ye call competition say yes we be doing kunim we are not just going to participate and on that matter no ya metumi can say get any bia onim ball but I believe say our opportunity say obeko
anti anu ya the sports minister and so the my we no eno ankasa explaining no what the opinion eka besma ko usu bempire la mama nsa say emfiri so minim say the asane dara e de sa say no ana say the sports minister di we na so obesa say efiri mama nti na afi in fact ene mama nka me ye befa ye course no anti aya no my ntitiam so e de amame
Gabi, on this subject matter, me adventure is simple.
Okay.
And a deep kakra than just a conversation of yem frɛ and answer me yem frɛ. Yem fanka wana me yem fanka. O national team. Se ebeya kono. Ediama obi a ofiri ukrom bia no matter nipa ko ne background see e won wo Ghana ha and see e won wo Abuchira the culture of the national team never chire.
Okay.
Ujidi say easy for player be say Brahim Diaz. Yet it's in Manchester City Academy. Or ball Real Madrid. To comfortably say, Bona or for Real Madrid. Mijidi say, after Iniesta Munia Yemukoyen. Look, Sanka Brahim Diaz and Costello are eligible to play for Spain by this and friend. So when I say players of Spain, national team name for Homa, De La Fonte more opportunity now. Saka Brahim Diaz one committed to Morocco. And now you say he will still stay eligible for Spain. And by this time, Kebedu so Kobenya Boni Biabo. But Ebanesena Brahim Diaz says Megwa Kobama Morocco. Ebanesena a lot of these players. And now, I watch Algeria. Ebo against Uganda. Goalkeeper of them is the son of the great Zinedine Zidane. He has opted to come and play for Algeria now. And not follow the footsteps of Ne Papa. And play for country of France. Why would the president of Liberia, the president, not a president, you know, never Timothy Weah, and so Obama US. Ghana Hank said, da. President of Oman, Oba, choose allegiance to USA than Liberia. Look, Nhyira is about how is the culture of your national team here.
Okay.
Is it professional enough? Attractive enough for people to say, Meba. Now, the rumors around Edin Ketia, Hossein Odoi, by no Mongoa. The list ewa. And we are talking about a list of Ghana players. Yawuamu Manonia. Ebimu pokra abo ama baby a yawuamu Manoneno, omu youth teams are. And they omen abba of age they have the right to decide. Say Obama Ghana and now Oba Chenim oh baby yawo no. Enti Edin Ketia yenim. Hossein Odoi yenim. Uko Hollander. There's an AZ Akma goalkeeper. Your friend Jaden Ousu Odro. Omo share initiative or YouTube no will see his photos because our platform so they will post it.
Yeah.
Very, very nice guy. Odama AZ Akma in the Eredivisie Holland League no.
Akma so in your team Ketwa.
Of course.
To end that number one spot. That means
yes.
We are classic.
Yes. He is also a Ghanaian. And he didn't crash it. Ousu Odro the baby anywhere just when you're Ghanaian. Apart from him, now say Obakaya, your friend this player, Derek Cohn. On put your back. But near said the nationality switch will be done within the window na man the buyer. But I completed.
Yeah.
Nancy last 2 games here boy Anfeno because still na process is complete. Me obi o following sharp passports to biano. And him say we've provided a list even when Otto was not the substantive coach.
Yeah.
Tell me no your assistant. Obey interim coach a list of Ghanaian players or GD say you bet me monitor na as and when you keep a relationship and call them.
Make hyper.
Until there are a lot of players out. But me the end say Sani Diarra is questioning commitments.
Yeah.
Honorable Kofi Adams about being open-minded. Now, you embrace you, be as me a boy team now. That is the ends justifying the means, and us looking beyond just the World Cup. Me a body a solid team. Or a gun and you know, but me a boy no quality no quantia. Yembe ya promanembra. But what I'm saying is say there be the balance of commitments. Any a solid teamer obia betimi aka say I want to be part of whether baby and pakode do no a sro no the environment we will create.
Okay.
Gabi, those who opted to come and play for Algeria, Morocco no, and I will continue to use Brahim Diaz. Look at the standard he has seen. Man City, Real Madrid, who Spanish national team it will be easy for him there to say, oh, me ba Morocco for no because already away a Morocco national team no omu na. I so professional say obemua. Bibia sasa.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't feel different. I attractive. I the man. Sisi aye ka say. Gabi say yawo Morocco ni bi awo say Holland. Yawu Morocco ni bi ewo Norway. Yawu Morocco ni bi ewo say Czech Republic and I say Romania. Ujiri say the Moroccan national team are the semi-finals of the World Cup. So oti wonu o she baby a so national team assignment the headquarters a omu shia omu training pitches omu facility omu war the world-class treatment of the players. Do you think say Obaka say enya attractive so obejo ni ana? It is attractive. And young Ghana they know instead of say yedim common we ni ya qualify ye na obi be so ba there be yema we yem ko there be yema omumbra. It's good. But for me e ni need do.
Okay.
We should invest in a national team culture no.
Okay.
We should the last time a year have gone. Your national team will baby in training. How do you convince Edin Ketia to belong to that national team? Early. So also over band them one. Say now we need due diligence and sign waba. The last AFCON na yekoye no. Ni news articles of any Ghana for Busia for no so blasters and some baba. Feedback on the one. Because Blasters for the crown, no Mosomoko training camp for Morocco, and Kofobi Morocco, the Baba Kadodo, until Moon train or Ghana. I almost say Ghana, no say, don't remember Kumase, you don't buy a Sababa and Timin training, and Tomoko Brancase. Now we have video, no Moon foot through once, so many, and Omoko. Look at the stories. How does this attract Jaden Odro, who has been brought up in Netherlands, training pictures quality, to say, oh, me mama Holland biem, me baba Bama Ghana for no, because me moja a Ghana.
Kofi Bremu mame na nhwene fire course no kakra.
I think say I'll sidestep I like a crabby. I think that I belong to the school of thought that understands baby I free bar about so you attract the good things, because if you are seeing baby a hoyeni you'll be happy. It's natural human instincts. But because of say a national team a day, now you are essentially seen as a soldier representing a nation. You know? Sometimes any say a year perfect and sana what no attention to baby are free.
Okay.
Meaning perfect say from your part of baby are free no. And your money a ding for some of these boys to choose us because you're near your money. And also ye jai omoa munyini ebobo ni kokodru baby are adding said they will turn back and see as a second fiddle and sana your mom the chance to come. So maybe in the long term future, see some of these boys are we can look at them from have a database of first time you won't crown the idea from the under 10. When you go to the FIFA Connect website, you get all of these things.
Okay.
And start connecting with them and give them plans as to why you show bit me Obama Ghana and work along those tangents and bring them in. Because some players you remember do the acclimatization into an assimilation of the Ghanaian culture when you used to look up a big deal. In the long run, whether or not it helps Ghana football is a big question. But I am in and all in for the commitment conversation. And asema mekano menka say Edinketi anye committed and as Kalumos no do anye committed because I don't have any proof to justify it.
Okay.
But say Oba for Ghana Black Stars, you should have shown that you want to play for the nation. You should have shown that you are willing to die for the nation because it is representing the Ghana flags. Rich, say you go school you generally taught you recited the Ghana the pledge I promise on my honor to be faithful and loyal to Ghana my motherland. It is not just for saying sake.
Okay.
Because on my way you teach on mine based on nationalism. And then for certain reasons nationalistic culture and way of doing things being nationalistic is very important. In fact, I believe strongly, say most of the success you're chalky in the heydays as Black Stars was hinged on nationalism. Say maybe you see a African Cup or you see a players is okay, you be to your one to one chair, all of those things are very important. But it is lost on us. And you're almost total fault because yes, you're as a mind.
Okay.
I mean, this is a country where Asraf one year they have fought and put their lives on the line and we fail to recognize them. Say sometimes it's worrying. We hardly even honor your heroes. Born a year, film, keep your history and sign a common. It's not done elsewhere. We should be nationalistic, protect your heroes and heroines. But in all of that, commitment is key. Because without commitment, it is almost always easy to turn us down. And the example Brahim Sanidar Adema is a classical example of Kevin Prince Boateng. He came off the back of quality. Now undoubted. Now that time Kevin Prince Boateng be a team or the quality bar. And it was quality and he team. But in all of that, Abraham, we needed Kevin Prince Boateng to show commitment. Imagine if on that travel to the DRC. Now your major players a paper. We needed Kevin Prince Boateng to stand up and wear the Ghana jersey in a place like that for the Ghana Black Stars. That wasn't there.
Okay.
So for me, in the conversation around it from the nationality point of view, commitment to here, but it always comes down to performance on whether or not Ombe Boateng, Iti Mirisi, say Edinketi ba. Will his performances be better, whether as a bench player or a starting player? Is this something to do here? Se Kalum was eba the skill sets no dey man e idea ye here Jaden Ebano national team number 1 goalkeeper no, do we need that whether in form of competition or number 1 ye here let the technical team make that decision.
And me invite me callers na omonso emremo 03220-83582 83583 83584 03220-83582 na onso wetimi aba mesraw wo ba no wa yentietem na wunia so etimi aba so bi. Hello yes boss me pa cho within baby akasa free
me dey the cable ache akasa free the fire sanso
Kebo ache mami tie we.
Beso masem na make na say. Yes ya um person mo bayi. Say kai ko mun tell kwa na qualify na some person obi a um person mo bank en having. Say din kai ko ya ko kai no mo person mo ba. Enti ba masa no mo ba na se do fo mo ko ye no ko bo qualify tinwa. E ba having kakra. Na e wo mo so bo ya mo ko qualify ye no. Enya se bi o qualify di kinkin ayen fa anko yire wo ho na ye training na nu wo na wudina so dia o so be ko bi e se bi a wo qualify di na se wo di gadam but na wo so qualify di du wa ayen fro
okay
ye na ye pese e be ko ne ye maye ne da se
men so da se ma men come em hello yes sir boss
champion one
me ba cho within ni baby akasa free
because to me di an big penalty
Kogo doctor and they will beat me kura. Ben. Oh, Ben, okay, hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, dankwe jina yo na line mu nye. Dankwe kwana sambra bim na line mu nye kra. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, our boss me pacho udini baby akasa free.
Ibia no kwame ko akasa free na free.
Meni am yentie we.
Ye nyina ye pedi. Eni pese ebisma akunyako akuyenim. He said ya qualify me e kwa ko we ka ko de. Players ku dam ne no mko hia. Eni nti se ye wo players a wo ma boy ni a omo fi en for bra me kan.
Meso be da se men ko ben me hello.
Yeah, David.
Yes sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, I'm Pomi to say.
Yango Boadom. Said Lombo de.
Bokopa.
And then I may ask you, I could see where the Macassia began.
I was in Tio.
The Paso, sir, the Befa, Sao, 1 year of Pepper side. Omeba, the ball, Abra qualifies and maybe a Mr. and Benny Vono. So Muko for mobile, I think you say, Fiazana, tournament in Angasa, do Amiaku. Because ebe yapa ebe ohane ya dropping ni akwa akofo mu mu ni opepa ti ebu ya another qualify so ibeti ni akwa akofo mu ba be bobi engino saade na mbeni bon pese o mu ye ne de o mu sachira o ma den kra e mo aye kra nja ti ni be che ofi anza na akọ
okay
da mo se ni edu
menso da se ma men ko ben me hello
champion
yes sir boss
Chabi patrol and this service ashta
Gabi,
throughout the morning, Gabi.
Yeah, with you.
I'm more black stars na baso. Na me de me kan nyina ne say. Okay, the salisu. Eric even praise what issue say ya be ba salisu ni e pa na chowa okay. You know, I think say ball no anasa bra ball na kwa se caterpillar. Di eju kwa no to be nya no na faso. Because obe kaya but your mom boy tournament proper na so manya kwai. Until this time around you coach na said there and a World Cup and a champions in the committee. Coach no kwa na kata kwa na what one kwa sometimes no questionable. So what I say it is a guardian play you baby. Na say e e ko GAD o we. Yen ko say e ko participate keke but e ko committee impactor. I think say you share omo beboa no mo nyina na e bi omo ba but ana to bi ya se ni pa na wo pe ne se beboa na yen qualify na wa ma na ne se ni pa no so pe se be fa no e wona na nsem no wono but yen penifo no decision but me ji amani age nyina na se wa ka tukreku kina ka World Cup in to fa wa na ka se ni be se aworo no because essential for your woro ba pe ya ka ma yen ti ni qualify for AFCON I'm waiting to say central for now, and I almost a book on the coach in our Basone. No coach is also here. Said about Ghana and the Madukoyi. Gabi.
Pato na so fifi so bi se wa asem bi.
Pato we are now be so Canada ko fa konesa bana yate.
Fifi. So ko fo manya no ansa wo so banchimaru watu. Wutwa bia na ansa na watu. Maka.
Baba, hello. Yes, sir.
Retado.
Go, doctor. Avi yanko akwanu mabi.
Akwanu mabi and them through Dr. KD Jakesi yanko mama. Then you make come and preoccupy now that the team will say you. Yes, it's you up kono wa na ngese ye popo bi o Ghana ha na ye bono ha o wake up for the players and what them go kan abobi o munim popa ye wura if you will be o be na to betimi abboa mo man afa na papa ya for mu nyina ba me wo na team ni strong e kwa get rise up team ya ti Spain part team as a Ghana kuna ni ma ye nyina ni beji obi oni po o se be to krum ba bia.
Okay, Mamen Fala Suko say hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir, boss. Me pacho dini baby akasa free.
Richard.
Yes, sir. Gabi Churamdi.
Gabi. Oh, sorry. Good morning.
Yes, sir, boss.
Michia Tifu Nhyira. I will pay you fantastic.
Okay.
Rich. I will say, you send this special, yeah, bobo, you cry. Say, it will send the deputy, yeah, special now. You can people. But it took crucial match here. You near 11 players near the Omabo. Near say, every players do actually. I had your main substitution. You didn't say match, crucial match, any able. Somebody I better win. Sir, and you so near the number. Near fan say, oh, a divi to say, oh, Pele, my nickname. And I a divi to say, a dinkatia. Near you, Pele, Nintino. Ebi onimbonti yamfano no dabi.
Okay.
Entisa brochure for no mo say omma no. Na no mo say ya qualify. Na no obi wa to say Kudus. Obi wa to say bia Jordan Ayew mo. Na so mo performance e wo soro e che obi to say edinkatia no ne omo aka na. Ye nya omo say ye kwa akofa omo.
Okay.
Ba say edinkatia no omo so performance e wo soro e chen omo a omo ba the boy na. I mean sound kakra. Because if you coach, you could bet me about saying no, near you be a yes, you coach in the assistant. Now, you're fat in the power for no, about the first team, because you here qualified and you here say the cap on the back. Young course, a quack for Bobby.
Opele that say, young fat course in Alpha and see a hardum say, Madame Waba me buy a better medicine so Eddie Amo.
Dachi and Kilbiara, and we are seeing now than a computer. The computer.
O national team. Se ebeya akono. Edi ama obi a ofri ukro mu bia. No matter nipa kone background. See e won wo Ghana ha. And I see e won wo Abuchira. The culture of the national team never chire.
Okay.
Ujidi say easy for player be say Brahim Diaz. Yet it's in Manchester City Academy. Or ball Real Madrid. To comfortably say Bona or bo for Real Madrid. Mijidi say after Iniesta money yemuko no. Look, Sanka Brahim Diaz and Costel are eligible to play for Spain by this and friend. So when I say players are Spain, national team name for Homa, de la Fonte more opportunity now. Sanka Brahim Diaz one committed to Morocco. And now you say he will still stay eligible for Spain. And by this time, Kebedu so Gobenya Boni Biabo. But Ebanesena Brahim Diaz says Megwa Kobama Morocco. Ebanesena a lot of these players. And now I watch Algeria. Ebo against Uganda. Goalkeeper or them is the son of the great Zinedine Zidane. He has opted to come and play for Algeria now and not follow in the footsteps of ne papa and play for country of France. Why would the president of Liberia, the president, not a president, you know, never Timothy Weah, that's what Obama US. Ghana Hankentia said, da. President of Oman, Oba, choose allegiance to USA than Liberia. Look, Nhyira is about how is the culture of your national team here.
Okay. Is
it professional enough? Attractive enough for people to say, now, the rumors around Edin Kitia, Hostin Odoi, but I know Mongoa. The list, and we are talking about a list of Ghana players. Yawuamua Manonia. Ebimum pokra abo ama baby a yawuamua Manoneno, omu youth teams are. And they omu abba of age. They have the right to decide. Say Obama Ghana and now Oba Chenim re oh baby oh yeah no no. Enti I didn't get the name. Hostin Odo yenim. Uko Hollander. There's an AZ Akma goalkeeper. The friend Jaden Ousu Odro. Omo share or initiative or YouTube no will see his photos. Because our platform, so they will post it.
Yeah.
Very, very nice guy. Odama XZ Akma in the Eredivisie Holland League, you know.
Akma so in your team Ketwa.
Of course.
To end that number one spot. That means
yes.
We are classic.
Yes. He is also a Ghanaian. And he didn't crash it. Ousu Odro the baby anyway just when you're Ghanaian. Apart from him, Nancy Obakaya. You afraid this player, Derek Cohn. On put your back. But Nhyira said the nationality switch, you know, will be done within the window na man the buy. But Anya completed.
Yeah.
Nancy last 2 games here boy I'm because still now process Nhyira complete. Me Obi on following sharp passports to Biano. And him say we've provided a list. Even when Otto was not the substantive coach.
Yeah.
Tell me no your assistant. Obey interim coach, you know. A list of Ghanaian players or GD say you bet me monitor na as and when you keep a relationship and call them. Until there are a lot of players out. But Mimi the end say Sani Diarra is questioning commitments.
Yeah.
Honorable Kofi Adams about being open-minded. Now you embrace you be as me a boy a team now. That is the ends justifying the means and us looking beyond just the World Cup. Me body a solid team or a gun and you know but me boy no quality no quality ya promanembra. But what I'm saying is say there be the balance of commitments. Any a solid team obia bet me say I want to be part of whether baby and pakode do no
any yasamu akwaba ya to adumade so edi amana kofi mame mra so na mame we na afi yanko edi
be a promote one no and
yeah
so open lunch they are the best lunch for you AHNH Garimis cup na NAI boarding house schools called first year for Canadian ebe bomo na onya ponfree class by a bit maybe no cap na bi so agu no adino AHNH Gary mix Gary creamer any mean katie any aka for the ama the best Gary mix or chroma say yes that's what the choco malt no honoma open no bia benyam show supermarket bi e ben obi akohonom na be every time we beat me at the HNH Gary mix open do the anwa for 0322190877 0322190877.
Well, Bismarck Owusu Bempa Ayala, my memory was way.
me internet national and all my cost
and say mo code no
yes
but sisi ade aten say ayala ne fifi code ni nyina no wokọ Nhyira FM ye official Facebook handler ubenya betway course ni nyina ho enti we dey corner hwe eda wo sisi
ya ba weekend say weekend ina games are start biem wa amano nti leagues ni na be start Friday konti edru ha ye be start Saturday course no enso so etimi abana betway codes the nti asitwa bet betway and say betway de akonya bebre no mo faso a omma wo a oni omudi djuma no feel say we special fofo no emfa emma and ma betway number 1 no e say betway omode ba ya che say o beta wo hye no o code no share na from code ninja bets na omoma o scan bi say the omodi abakra do twam betway rewards betway say more na ultra bet mo platform no so no say sporting bet na ultra say casino beta ultra more ni nyina no na omo rewarded with points na enya points keke points abre bia wo pe bia obetimi convert to sika and say na say what 200 points 200 series and a war 150 points 150 series and a war and as points na bet ma convert to sika no ubetimi the idea wo person dey bia say uyi agu botomo say uyi e dey twa bet fufuro say uyi e dey twa wo kabio the person this can bia one kasa sika nti betway rewards na ye kana edu twam a obi ande bi no eno na ye pesa ye kire undi 18 years mesrew betway say untimi any omo endi juma and I call betway platform so o betia na wa better responsibly e dey amaye nyina betway almost say get way more.
Well, okay, Mamin for birthday way and Remna yan sorry Jumedia so happy birthday and coma Mr. Lawrence Afankwa. Mr. Lawrence Afankwa ne wawada the air can say Yankupon sha na oma wakuma swadi nyina emrem dia wo ebo empire de bia da Yankupon emfa ho answer emfa emau we efri Abigail Millicent Julie and afe woman nyina almost daddy and akwakoya wo de nyame nhyɛ ye pa no nto nkwanem na omunsu enyinima ya mofra pa sɛ ne be ya wonso obreso mfaso do atimi do the happy birthday Mr. Lawrence Afankwa ya di dwumade no enso edi esi anim say na ayala onipa ya owo boase sita won say owo Italy na no da brante bi am ka jo so peso oya academy no na oze yankomodie no otie bi na say Italy ho Ghana fo ni bebre wo ho na mom na ase nsem na ase sanitary ade no support sanitary ade na ne hia
commitment kakra
which commitment kakra enye say ya na di waba di odo say oni ade ankasa janka be ka say press ni bebre ho mo ya ade me form mo na bet ofiu say wo nso bibi di a yenya ho ndi ono nso ede na busia ya di usia dem say ya kwa adom na akwa news at 12 ede my friend Gabi Tram the foreigner riches me Donkor na metrem ma akwabena ne hodo no kwabena hodo no wote bisma ko usu bempa ayala nkasa nso ana fifi manfred nso wote nenka enta tim ni nyina ta akire ya kwa adom